Aloha and welcome. My name is Taylor Norris, and I'm an astrologer and Reiki master teacher. And in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you about the Cancer new moon occurring on June 25th. We're going to look at some of the medical astrology insights, very, very practical, galactic insights, esoteric astrology insights, and really some intuitive insights as well that I've accessed through my Reiki journeys and my meditations, really connecting in with the higher frequencies of this beautiful Cancer new moon occurring just after Cancer solstice, and really highlighting and emphasizing the aspect that was exact June 14th through the 16th, which is Jupiter in Cancer in the early degrees of Cancer, squaring Saturn in Aries, and also squaring Neptune in Aries, Saturn and Neptune both in Aries. And as I was sharing in my last video, a key word that came through for this particular first quarter square that is really hearkening back to a seed that was planted on the Capricorn solstice of 2020. This is when Jupiter and Saturn were conjunct at 0 degrees Aquarius and starting a whole new synodic cycle, about a 20-year cycle. So this opening square really is an aspect of initiation, initiating action, and it's occurring in cardinal signs, Cancer zodiac sign and Aries being cardinal zodiac sign. Aries, fire that is initiating, fire in motion. Cancer that is water, water that's initiating, water that is in motion. It is a square of action. It's a square of a shift since that seed point, since whatever was getting going in your life around that time. So thinking back to the December solstice of 2020 and what was sparking within you. And this would have been kind of like a moment of revealing your future self and new directions, new aspirations in terms of your growth and your strengthening of your own inner authority. So we're going to take a look at the chart and go even deeper now. So this is what I'm talking about here. We see the new moon at 4 degrees Cancer zodiac sign, 7 minutes. Jupiter here at 3 degrees, 32 minutes of Cancer zodiac sign. The sun would have already exactly conjoined Jupiter the day prior, bringing in that expansion and infinite possibilities and larger than life feeling. And then the moon would have conjoined Jupiter just prior to this new moon. And then the new moon itself occurring 12:31 a.m. Hawaii time on June 25th. So June 25th for most locations in the world. So we could say with confidence that this new moon is conjunct Jupiter. And so really emphasizing that square I was just talking about with Saturn, Neptune, and Aries, and Jupiter now in Cancer zodiac sign. And this square, a keyword coming through for it is orientation, reorientation. And this was also highlighted by Jupiter's passage, followed by the sun, followed by the moon over Polaris star, our North Star, which aligns to about that final degree in Gemini zodiac sign. So that already, it's a star of orientation. And this really feels like an aspect of orientation, reorientation, and also an aspect that's talking about our spiritual growth, our inner truth, the deep knowledge, the teacher within, the wisdom within our souls, the wisdom within our spirits, the wisdom from our ancient memory as well, coming through Cancer, and the wisdom and the knowledge that is just igniting within us with Saturn and Neptune together at the beginning of Aries zodiac sign, the first degrees of the first sign in the zodiac. So Cancer zodiac sign, this new moon, an opportunity to plant a seed of intention. It is guided, Cancer is guided by the moon. So the moon is very much able to be herself here and carry that frequency of the Divine Mother, of comfort, of nourishment and nurturance, evoking and awakening our feeling nature, our emotional nature, our intuitive nature, our resonance and memory of the past within this lifetime, past within other lifetimes. So we have an opportunity to access the deep past and also let go of what no longer serves us from the past, and perhaps even shine new lights of awareness on the past experiences, again, within this lifetime and within other lifetimes. In medical astrology, the Cancer moon is cool in temperature and very moist. This is the most fertile placement for the moon. So keeping that in mind, fertility energies are running very high. And so to work with those responsibly. Cancer moon is also very comforting, nurturing, as I said, nourishing, and softening. It just softens and sweetens and soothes. Energies turn inward. Energies and fluid pull to the Cancer body zone. And the Cancer body zone in medical astrology includes the breasts, the ribs, the sternum, the elbows, armpits, stomach, lower lung, spleen, thoracic duct, posterior pituitary gland, and the gums. The Cancer body zone also has to do with lactation, sound sensitivity, often to the point of clairaudience, and sound healing is very, very linked to Cancer zodiac sign. Cancer body zone also having to do with the memory. So with this Cancer new moon, there's an opportunity to really nourish and support these parts within our body. The Cancer moon stimulates emotions, maternal tenderness, tears, memory, sentiment. So if the emotions are running high, just let them go, let them flow, feel it to heal it. Don't attach a story to it, just let it run through. And also, you can be in the questioning of, is this even mine? Right? Because it might not be. In fact, it probably isn't. So just allowing it to flow through and, engaging any kind of, putting a Reiki field of light or whatever kind of protection you like to work with to practice some energetic hygiene, because the water signs are so very sensitive and receptive, Pisces being the most receptive of the water signs. So with Cancer moon, there's a preference often for staying home, sleeping, eating, cuddling, dreaming, being with family, being in nature, being with, biological family, soul family, even being on your own. And so to just honor that, if you're feeling like you really just want to be cozy, curl up maybe with your pets, your companion animals, or your stuffed animals, or whatever it may be, cozying up with your favorite tree or your favorite plant, what, or crystals, whatever that might be. So this really does feel very cozy, and there's expansion in the coziness here with Jupiter. Also, this would be a good time to make yourself a good meal, make your family a good meal, share some really good food, and create a really delicious recipe, a family recipe, a new recipe, and like eat what makes you feel good, move your body in ways that feel good, spruce up your home. I always like to clean my space around the time of the new moon and the full moon. This would be a wonderful activity to engage in. Also harnessing this Mars and Virgo South Node in Virgo, cleaning up in the garden, in the yard, in the home space, all very healing, very practical. Things to be mindful of with the Cancer new moon, allowing only pleasant images and sounds to enter the mind because we are so emotionally sensitive in this particular zodiac sign, Cancer. There's also a possibility the moon is so tied to our physical bodies and our physical well being. So there can be an increased likelihood of swelling, bloating, water retention, allergic responses due to that heightened sensitivity. And Cancer moon is known to influence the brain fluid level in some way. Cancer moon is excellent for decocting and drinking herbal remedies. If that is your cup of tea, have a good cup of tea. Cancer is a phlegmatic, mucus producing zodiac sign and highly fertile. As I said, some of the best uses of Cancer new moon is to nurture yourself really, really well, nurture others, and embrace self care, however that looks like for you. Maybe attending specifically to your emotional body and what makes you feel really good, really comfy, really cozy here. And so, with the medical astrology insights, again, I'm not a medical doctor, I'm not a medical practitioner, I am a medical astrology enthusiast. It's a vast, vast, vast subject and subspecialty within astrology. And so I share this information for informational and educational purposes, knowing that you, as a sovereign individual, responsible individual, can take what resonates and leave the rest, that this is for educational and informative and historical and entertainment purposes as well. So, digging into some of those aspects, the main one that is just very, very strong is the conjunction of the new moon with Jupiter and enhancing and highlighting that square to Saturn, Neptune. It is also, the new moon is also squaring Mars at 4 degrees of Virgo. And this is very interesting when we look at the galactic chart. We see Mars as opposite Fomalhaut, royal star, Fomalhaut, and approaching in exact opposition with Deneb, Adige, the shaman star in Cygnus constellation. These are two just gorgeous, glorious stars of such light. Fomalhaut connected to Archangel Gabriel. So we can be very receptive here of divine messages, divine guidance, connecting with the angels and the archangels, angelic realms, galactic angels, galactic archangels here, receiving messages that are informing and inspiring the right use of our action, Mars, and right use of our intellect here, and also cutting away anything that no longer serves our highest good in terms of messages, in terms of actions, in terms of thought forms that are no longer serving us as well here. So you can see in this chart as well, all of this energy in Cancer is opposing these two unusual looking glyphs here at the early degrees of Capricorn. So 6 degrees Capricorn, 25 minutes is Ixion, a dwarf planet, brother to our friend Pluto, and Quaoar at 10 degrees, 28 minutes of Capricorn. Both are in red. The numbers are in red. And so that means they are retrograde. They're in retrograde motion, appearing to move backward from our perspective here on Earth. So this new moon opposing these two dwarf planets that have to do with following our bliss Ixion, following the beat of your own drum, your own inner truth. Quaoar being the higher octave of Jupiter. This is a planet that's about generating your own luck through ceremony and ritual and consistent spiritual practice. So this is a wonderful moon to be drumming, to be singing, to be dancing. Quaoar is very connected to spiritual song and dance and group work. So doing work, spiritual work with your soul family, and really with Ixion there, following your own inner truth and inner sense of soul and spirit ethics. The lower level Ixion can be just belligerent and bad behavior. And so, of course, not going that route, but having that strong sense of inner compass and inner truth, true north, and following your own soul's calling and your own soul's higher directive into new horizons. Jupiter also being very strongly linked to the new horizons here. With more of the star alignments here, Mercury making a conjunction with Procyon star in Canis Minor. This is the little dog constellation, Procyon, hearkening and preceding the rise of the great star Sirius in Canis Major constellation each year. So the little dog likes to get its bark in and shine its light before the big star and the big dog rises on the horizon. And this Procyon star in particular is very connected to the mysteries and truth and having opportunities come in that can kind of like pass through very quickly. So making best use of those opportunities. And also, really, with Mercury, our minds opening to deep truths and deep wisdom about the earth, about humanity, about our history, about ourselves, about the future, about all the big questions here, because Mercury is preparing also as it enters the early degrees of Leo, will oppose Pluto. So the truths and the light and the knowledge and the wisdom really bubbling up from within, and that's only going to be expanded with deep truths coming to light as Mercury makes that opposition to Pluto in the days to come and the days following this new moon. In esoteric astrology, Cancer zodiac sign is ruled by Neptune. So the exoteric astrology ruler of Cancer is the moon. The esoteric, the more hidden, inner ruler of Cancer is Neptune, our planet of spirituality and going beyond the outer reaches of the solar system into the land of the trans-Neptunian objects and the KBOs and the dwarf planets and the comets and the Oort cloud and even what's beyond this solar system. So Neptune, this very strong planet of channeling, of spirit, of spirituality, of deep soul and spirit wisdom. The third ray of active intelligence and the seventh ray of ceremonial order focus through Cancer zodiac sign, compelling the passionate pursuit of truth, third ray, active intelligence, and the urge promoting initiation, seventh ray, ceremonial order, and magic. Through Cancer's vivid imagination, all things are possible. And key words for this Saturn-Neptune conjunction in Aries that have come through regarding this aspect that we're working with all year, which becomes exact next February 20th, is the great initiation of humanity. This is what's come forward in my own intuitive reflections on what this aspect means. And so This is emphasizing that urge, promoting whatever our next level of initiation is as humanity and as individuals on spiritual paths. This passionate pursuit of truth, enhanced by this Mercury Procyon alignment I was just speaking of. Also, here, when we look at Neptune in the chart, so the esoteric ruler of Cancer zodiac sign, where the new moon is taking place, Neptune at 2 degrees Aries and 9 minutes is opposing the super galactic center. So, one of these very immensely powerful, supermassive black holes in our universe that is a point of organization around which our own Milky Way galaxy and many other galaxies are in orbit. So it's the source and it is the creator and the point of organization for so many galaxies, ours included, and contains this whole possible enlightened realms. It is its own octave, one octave higher than our own galactic center, which organizes our own Milky Way galaxy. The multitude of star systems within our Milky Way galaxy, of which Sol and our solar system is one of many star systems within our Milky Way galaxy. And these other stars in the galactic chart are other star systems within our own Milky Way galaxy. So with Neptune in this opposition here to the supergalactic center, we are certainly expanding our consciousness. Supergalactic center is also rooted in with ancestral healing. So healing our own family lineages. This is very much the work of Cancer zodiac sign as well, our own ancestral lineages, and even making contact with our ancestors of this earth, our galactic ancestors, taking in and revealing, letting go of any illusions around the truth of our broader ancestry, where we really come from. What is your soul's story and your soul's lineage through the stars and your soul's experience on the earth? What does that look like? What does that mean? What does that feel like? What is the journey of your spirit, the essence of your spirit at this higher level? So we're really expanding our perspective. Just taking some time to connect in with the supergalactic center. I will be hosting a Cancer New Moon Distant Reiki share. So this is likely to be something that we will do in the Reiki journey, but in your own meditation time, just like, what is that supergalactic center level of the heavens of consciousness feel like? What do those enlightened frequencies and realms at that supergalactic center octave feel like in your body? And I was tuning into it this morning. It does feel like perfect peace, and it also feels like truth. And that's much of what all of these different alignments, just taken in like holistically, exoterically, esoterically, galactically, medically. These are some of the notes of what was coming in about that, some questions and insights to consider. So what belief systems are you releasing? What blocks to your inner authority and full trust in your inner truth and inherent soul wisdom are you releasing? What frequencies are you embracing? So as you release, there's more space. What do you wish to embrace? And a suggestion here, a possibility, is to embrace the light of truth. The light of truth. Opposite Ixion, the new moon opposite Ixion, welcoming in bliss, following your own inner truth and your own inner compass. This is essential in the infinite sea of information we are swimming in, and it's only going to increase as Uranus, making its beautiful alignments with the Pleiades, will enter Gemini very soon, July 7th. This year, in just a couple weeks. We only think there's a lot of information now. There is more coming. Discernment is essential here. Mars and Virgo can help us with this. The South Node, this point of our enlightenment, this point of our liberation in the sign of Virgo, also supporting our discernment. What swimming pools or rabbit holes do you want to be in? Which swimming pools or rabbit holes do you need to get out of? Skillfully sorting through information, sources of information. What is the level of consciousness of the information? How does it make you feel? How does truth feel in your body? What does truth feel like in your body? This feels like a very important piece of information and intuition to really access here. Venus in Taurus supporting this notion of truth. Venus, the higher self planet of planet Earth, sister planet to Earth, in the sign of Taurus, which is extremely embodied, fully embodied. What does truth feel like in your body? And I think this can be part of the final teachings of Uranus in Taurus, as it really emphasizes that final degree of Taurus. What is your own soul and spirit's truth? Because there's going to be a whole lot more in that need to be able to discern what is true, what is not, take elements and streams of truth. You don't have to like grab onto an entire belief system as a whole entity. There may be threads that are useful and resonate as truth, other threads that don't. And, being able to identify distortions in truth, distortions in your own belief systems, to be able to dismantle, deconstruct where that is necessary, and to reassemble and reconstruct as well. But really, this trust in yourself, your inner authority, Saturn in Aries, Neptune in Aries, that your spirit contains all the information, all of the truth, all of the wisdom that you need. It is a matter of unveiling and revealing that truth, that clarity, that coherence within you. So there is a very strong emphasis here on the light of truth that has come forward in this deeper reflection into this chart. So I invite you to really embrace the frequency and the light of truth. And that's something we'll certainly explore in the Cancer New Moon Distant Reiki Share Reiki journey that I will channel. So you are invited to that event June 23rd. It occurs on a Monday. The link will be below this video to join. It's free. You're welcome to be there. And on July 7th, I'm super excited about this class I'm teaching. It is an Astro Reiki class, so combining astrology, all different kinds of astrology, with a Reiki journey where you're able to connect with Uranus and Gemini in your own deep, authentic, true way. And in this class, we will be exploring the mysteries revealed. And I will release a video sharing more about the transit and more about specifically what is going to be covered in the class. But we're going to be going deeply into the mysteries, including the Pleiades, and really connecting in with the higher frequencies of Uranus, Gemini, and the Pleiades. That will be the focus of the class, and I am beyond excited about it. And that's to say also, as Uranus is really emphasizing this final degree of Taurus, and as it enters Gemini July 7th, really be open to Pleiadian contact if that's something that you're interested in. It seems like an increasing probability for that if that's something you want. And the way I've experienced it so far, it almost feels like this lengthening, this elongation of my energy body when I'm connecting with them. And yeah, just so much truth, so much love, and strong electrical activity when I feel connecting. They often just kind of like make me shake things out, feels or looks maybe like a little bit of a convulsion where the energy is needing to be shaken out. And I think it's part of the release, but it's also part of the kind of the DNA activation that happens when we connect with these highly evolved, enlightened beings of the Pleiades and enlightened beings of the galactic, these different parts of ourselves, future self contact, very, very possible, however you want to think about that. But the Pleiadians very accessible in our meditations, journeys, dream time, however you like to connect spiritually. So to be open with that. And there's so many mysteries to be revealed with the Pleiades in particular. I will leave it there because I'm teaching a whole class about it, and I'm just so excited to keep investigating, keeping revealing those mysteries. So TaylorNorrisReiki.com is where you can connect with me for a one-on-one reading, a Reiki journey session just for you, one of these classes, or to join a distant Reiki share. I'm so grateful for you listening, and please share your thoughts in the comments below. Happy and blessed Cancer new moon to you. Aho, amen, namaste, and so it is. Mahalo.